Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unchurch. This is Katie Weaver. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I know we're a little behind. I apologize. You know, if you know what I do for a living, you know that I live and die by the telephone. And pardon me, started a new asthma medicine this morning, and well, it's making me cough. I don't know, Doc. Not sure what to say about that, but it's fine. We're fine here. So my phone rang a lot this morning and it slowed me down, and that's totally fine. I can roll with that. I know you guys can too. So I'm just happy to be here. So I certainly hope that you guys are having a lovely Sunday morning. Of course, Unchurch has always been a gathering of souls, you know. One thing I discovered in the spiritual world a long time ago is that a lot of people had walked away from maybe organized religion beliefs or hadn't, there's no judgment there, but still wanted some kind of maybe Sunday morning upliftment, a gathering of souls, right? And so that was always the point of Unchurch, was just to spread a little joy, maybe spread a little wisdom, and just commune together for a few minutes. So Unchurch always has been and always will be about 20 minutes, and that's it. We're just coming together to share a little love, and that's it. So I welcome you, and if you're listening to this as or watching it as a replay or a YouTube video, I welcome you as well. So let's get into it. First, sharing some good news. I'm going to tell you guys kind of a fun story, and I want to tell you too that next week Unchurch will be completely different, and I hope a little fun. I'll be traveling. I will be on a little road trip, and I had thought about just not doing Unchurch next week. Honestly, this whole winter or summer, as we've camped, I have not done Unchurch on Sunday because, well, I was camping and kind of looked like, I was camping and was apparently a little too vain to come on camera. But I'm taking a road trip with my sisters and my niece and my daughters. We're going to celebrate my niece turning 16, in a very masked up way, of course. But I thought it might be fun on Unchurch next week to just do a short broadcast and a bit of an interview with all of those gorgeous women that I'm traveling with. Maybe just ask them one question that I thought might be helpful for you guys. So Unchurch, I can't tell you what time it will be next week. Honestly, I don't know what our schedule is going to look like exactly, but I promise it will happen sometime Sunday morning. And I think that you guys might enjoy what comes out of it. I'm excited. My wheels are really turning. So that's coming. Other than that, I want to let you guys know that I'm happy to be here. We're going to just start with some good news. That's what we always do, right? Some good news from across the globe. Don't we need some? Feels like every week we do. Oh, but I wanted to tell you a funny story because that's always a good way to kick off Unchurch. So my daughter and my niece traveled by bus this week. We put them on a bus to go stay with my older daughter, and what in my car would be like a 4.5 hour drive is about a 7 hour drive on the bus because they stop, constantly to pick up more passengers. And, this is the first time either one of them have done something like this, and they were a little nervous, a little wigged out about it, but, it was an opportunity to go have a fun weekend, so they jumped on the chance. Well, I received Snapchats for 7 hours about their adventures on the bus. But one of the funniest ones, and I'm still laughing about it, they tried to get off on the wrong stop. They had to change buses one time, and they tried to get off on the wrong stop, and they'd already gathered up their stuff and headed up the aisle. And the bus driver was kind of abrupt with them, and remember, these are teenagers that are basically embarrassed by their very existence, right? And so the bus driver's like, "Hey, what are you doing? This isn't your stop." And they were both so mortified and embarrassed. My niece wheeled around to go back to her seat and clobbered a guy in the head with her water bottle. Is that not the most priceless? She was so embarrassed. And of course, he wasn't, hurt, but she didn't even apologize. She just rushed back to her seat and just hit her head. Oh, to be a teenager again, right? I got quite a few snaps about that. I'll never get over it. That is too dang funny. Anyway, They lived through it. They got to take the bus the whole way. Apparently, the bus didn't have much for AC, so they thought they were dying. And I really feel like it was a good experience for these privileged kids. you know. Anyway, and they've had a really fun weekend. So I hope it was all worth it. But the image of my niece wheeling around and whacking somebody with her water bottle and all of her embarrassment is just too much for me. Anyway, the poor kids in our family, they don't get a lot of sympathy. They make us laugh all the time. So let's go with some actual good news, because that wasn't good news to the guy, the guy hit with the water bottle. Anyway, okay, well, a camera has trapped new babies born to the world's rarest great ape species. How cool is that? The world's rarest great ape species are having babies, and it's sparking hope for its survival beyond what scientists ever thought could happen. So, this is an ape that is only found in Nigeria and Cameroon. They're a Western gorilla subspecies, world's rarest ape. They're rarely seen, very rarely photographed, even by like remote cameras and trail cams and things like that. But they're having babies. It's so exciting. So they're actually called cross river gorillas. And for whatever reason, they're making a resurgence. And isn't that cool? Anytime a species is no longer on this planet, it breaks my heart. That's unthinkable to me. So how cool, very exciting. Charitable donations in the US give record amount as support surges in the first 6 months of 2020. Now that report brings me a lot of hope, because it's been discouraging lately to see how many people have been quite selfish through this whole COVID thing and have acted like they really didn't care much about other people, or the lack of really caring for what other people were going through or what other people are needing has been kind of astonishing and very sad to me. So it's a good reminder to me and to all of us that there is more good than bad in this world. There are more people that care. The altruism still lives, and it's okay. Record amounts of charitable donations. I just think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay. Science has discovered a compound in sea sponges that can stop cancer and kill herpes. So, and they grow in Indonesia, and so they could be farmed, or farmed, I guess, farmed and harvested in Indonesia, which could really, really help their economy. So it would be a win-win if we can find a way for to help them to grow these sea sponges and allow them to be harvested. What an amazing thing for people that have been struck by herpes to be able to have that cured. That's unthinkable. That has been not a thing that could even happen. Not to mention, the cancer aspect of it, they're both huge. So that's pretty cool. And it's pretty neat that it's where they grow is in a place that has an enormous amount of poverty that could be helped tremendously. Now, let's hope that, the people who need the help receive the help, right? That's the energy that we'll carry. But I thought that was a pretty cool story. Okay. 2 sturgeon were caught in the Georgia River. And that's pretty exciting for conservationists, because they thought that this prehistoric fish was extinct in Europe. And it's not. So that's pretty cool as well. The sturgeon are making a comeback. So that's pretty exciting. This is the Republic of Georgia, not Georgia, US, but they are there. So how cool is that? We actually have sturgeon in the waterways around where I live, and they're incredible. My dad caught a sturgeon years and years and years ago. They're catch and release. You can't keep them. But he caught a sturgeon that was 15 feet long. And the guide that was with them said that sturgeon had to be at least 150 years old. Isn't that incredible? Now, why are we catching and pestering them? I don't really know. Come on, Dad. But people do. They want to get their picture with these enormous fish, but they do, I am assured, catch them in a with barbless hooks and in a way that they can just measure them and, photograph them and then let them free and they're fine. So I hope that's true. There's a part of me that wonders, but anyway, but sturgeon making a comeback. Pretty cool. All right. All right. The first of its kind clinical study finds that microdosing THC can reduce chronic pain. Well, lots of people have believed that THC was helpful for a long time, but these studies are really important because the US hasn't allowed a lot of studies on marijuana or medical marijuana or THC or even CBD because of laws and regulations. And so as these studies are coming out, it helps people with chronic pain and other illnesses that could benefit to start having more availability. So that's amazing. That's actually super, super good news. All right. Researchers develop an air filter capable of trapping and killing COVID-19. I think every classroom in the country needs one of those post haste, right? That's pretty amazing. And every Walmart, yeah. All right. A 9-year-old Kenyan boy is honored for inventing a hand washing machine that prevents COVID-19 spread. How cool is this? He rigged up a little machine that has a place for water, it has a place for disposal, it has a place for soap, for hand sanitizer. It's all in one station. And, he's being innovative and helping his community. Pretty cool. All righty. Well, there's a lot more good news, but I think we'll keep moving. So, but all of the good news I shared with you came from the Good News Network, but I highly recommend you check out them and anyone else that reports a lot of good news. We need to know, right? We need to know. We need to remember that there's more good than bad in the world. We also need to remember that we are truly okay because sometimes in this day and age, it's easy to get swept up in everything that's wrong. That's what's being forced at us constantly. So, yeah. All right. Well, have you guys been looking at the comet? I hope so. So the comet has been visible. I can't tell you the name of the comet because I can't remember. It is the most visible comet we have had since Hale-Bopp in 1995, 1996. Now, you might remember that a large group of people from the Heaven's Gate cult actually killed themselves during Hale-Bopp to hop onto what they were told would be a spaceship with one of their leaders in it riding on the tail of Hale-Bopp. And so they actually drank Kool-Aid. That's where that phrase drinking the Kool-Aid comes from. They drank poisonous Kool-Aid in order to kill themselves to jump on Hale-Bopp. So I have been hoping that we didn't have any of that kind of, comet craze this time, but people just got outside and enjoyed it. And you can see it still. It's pretty cool. Scott and I drove way out on the desert last night to get completely away from Neowise. Thank you, Lillian. Neowise is the comet's name. Yeah. Get out and see it tonight. Look around the Big Dipper. And if you don't see it, look from the corner of your eye and you'll see the tail, and then you'll start to be able to acclimate your eyes to where it's at. So pretty cool, pretty exciting, actually. So we don't get to see things like this all the time. And to me, anything that's happening in the sky is noteworthy always, right? All right. Many of you have expressed to me recently that you kind of need a reset. Maybe your habits have gotten a bit out of control. Maybe you've, through COVID and through all the stuff we've been through this year, maybe you have kind of gotten off target and you're trying to find some ways to get back on target to just feel a little bit better, feel a little bit more like yourself. So I'm going to throw some suggestions at your way to help amp up your frequency and to help you remember what it is that makes you tick, what it is that makes you feel great. Not all of these will resonate with you, but some of them will help you go, oh, I haven't done that in a long time, and that does make me feel good. So I'm going to throw a list your way, okay? First, get enough sleep. As we have had quarantine, and I know a lot of you aren't quarantined now, but some of you are still self-quarantined and whatnot, we've gotten lazy with our schedules, and sleep has been one of them. Because if you don't have to get up at a certain time in the morning, why go to bed at a certain time at night? And yet, that's throwing people's sleep cycles into all kinds of chaos. Be sure that you're getting enough sleep. You got to mother yourself on this one and get clear about what time your body really needs to go to bed and that you're getting enough sleep. It's really important. This is what I've had to really crack down on myself with and quit staying up so freaking late because, well, as you guys know, I live with too many pigs and they don't wait for breakfast. They don't. And so if I stay up late, I'm still going to have to get up early. So it's stupid. But especially in the summer, I'm kind of prone to that. But also just in general, we've kind of let our schedules get lazy. So evaluate sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you going to bed at a decent time? If sleep isn't, if you feel like you're not getting enough sleep or it's not working out for you right now, you really may consider what you need to do to reset that. Because, man, being sleep deprived and especially chronically sleep deprived makes it very hard to be productive. It makes it hard to make good decisions. It just makes life hard. And who needs that? Make your bed. Make your bed. This is on the list I found, and I thought it was actually a pretty good idea. I have to make my bed. I live in a home where Scott could get in the same muffed up, just throw the covers over himself kind of bed every night. I cannot. The bed has to be made. The covers have to be smoothed out. It has to be proper, for me to get into it. I can't start out with the bed messed up. But, 23 years of marriage now, and he still has no problem with the bed being like that. But that's a no from me. But make your bed. Even if you're not going anywhere, even if company's not coming, make your bed, straighten up your bedroom, haul in your laundry, take those basic steps to help you to feel better. Be thankful. I think this one's really important right now because it's easy to not be, it is. It's easy to focus on all of the BS right now and maybe forget all of the things that you are grateful for and all of the beautiful things you have in your life. We've said it lots of times, and I absolutely believe this to be true. An attitude of gratitude will get you a long way. Treat yourself. Yes, treat yourself. Go crazy? Maybe not. Eat things that aren't good for your body? Maybe don't. But treat yourself in some way, Maybe it's not even food. Maybe it's a little online shopping spree, or maybe it's just buying an art supply or a craft that you've wanted for a while, or it's putting flowers on the table. But treat yourself. Do kind things for you. Don't wait for other people to do that for you. You do kind things for you. Tech detox. Are you spending too much time online? We've talked about this so many times. Are you spending too much time in places online that don't uplift you? That's probably my biggest challenge. Is allowing myself to be roped into things and spend too much time reading things, looking at things that actually aren't lifting me up at all. So consider, what are you doing with your online time? Is it too much? And is it actually helping you? Remind yourself that you are worthy, that you are worth it, that you are exactly who you are supposed to be. Your self-talk is the most important talk that you will hear in your lifetime. Now, it's true that your self-talk a lot of times has been formed by the way other people have spoken to you. So we have to be careful with this one, right? But truly, your self-talk couldn't be more important, especially during this time. Be aware. Think about it. The way you speak to yourself, is that the way you talk to a friend or a loved one? And if it isn't, let's start working on it. Let's start thinking about how kind you are to you. And if you really deserve to be treated like that, be kind, always, right? That's important. Spend time outdoors. Yes. 1,000 times yes. And keep good company, right? If the people that you are spending time with, whether it's online or it's in person, are pulling you down, are frustrating you, are, making your stomach hurt, maybe it's time to, I'm not saying you have to cut anyone out of your life, but maybe it's time to branch out. Maybe it's time to look for a group or a gathering. And a lot of them are online right now, which is so convenient, of like minded people that you can resonate with, that don't make you feel bad about yourself or your beliefs, that don't trigger for you anxiety or energy that you could do without, right? Always looking for things that lift you up and uplift you. You deserve that. And I'll tell you guys something. You make more of an impact in the lives of the people around you than you will ever know, until you go. Yeah. When you cross over, you'll know. But while you're here, you don't ever really figure it out. But when you cross, you'll know. But I'm telling you, I'm promising you, you have had and continue to make more of an impact than you realize. So keep throwing that kindness around, keep throwing that light around. The world needs you right now, probably more than ever before. And I've caught myself saying that a lot of times in the last few years. And I probably mean it right now more than I ever have before. But we need your light. We need your love. We need your service. We need your kindness. We need your prayers. We need your good energy. We need your peace. We need it all. We need your wisdom. So don't hold back. Bring it. Bring it to the table. Be a great example. Be who you want to be, right? Okay. Well, those are some thoughts. I'd be curious to know what else you guys are doing to help give yourself a lift or a boost. For me, it is usually, I listen to comedy every day. Comedy is a great way for me to escape my own thoughts. It's a good way for me to entertain myself during boring times. And it's a good way for me to just laugh, because we know that laughing releases all of those awesome endorphins in your brain and gives you a good natural boost. So for me, it's comedy. And maybe I'll watch a comedy special like on Netflix, or maybe I'll just listen to comedy on Pandora. But comedy is it for me. That's one of my feel good. I don't even want to say guilty pleasures, because I don't feel a damn bit guilty about it, right? It's where it's at. And my family knows, whatever room I'm in, whatever I'm working on, there's probably something playing that will either entertain or maybe not. Because my taste in comedy might be different from someone else's, and that's okay. But point being, find those things that help you lift your vibe naturally. Don't struggle. Don't struggle. That does not lift your vibe, right? Yeah. Belle says she is drinking a tea blend called Calm. Nice. And listening to audiobooks. Oh, that's good. I love that. I know a lot of people that have been turning to audiobooks lately, and I think that's awesome. Very good. All right. And Lillian said she also makes her bed first thing every morning. I make my bed first thing after Scott gets out of it, because I get up hours before he does. And we've had this fight for 23 years. The last person, in my opinion, the last person out of the bed should make it. In his opinion, he doesn't care if the bed gets made, so he doesn't make it. So, at what point do you stop swimming upstream and you just make the damn bed? And that's what I do, typically. Every once in a while, no. But for me, that's where it's at. Yeah, we all have to find a way, right? We have to find a place in us that we're ready to stop struggling, stop being mad, and just take care of things. It's a small thing. It's making the bed. It's certainly not the end of the world. But you guys, we've done it. We've more than done it, in fact. And I apologize for going over a little this morning, but we just had a lot of things to say. So I hope that you guys have a great Sunday. I will be around all week, of course. I am a professional psychic advisor at one2listen.com. If I can help you in some way, that's the way to come and find me. I do readings there literally every single day of the year. And you can come read my bio and my testimonials. And, if you vibe with me and you want to call me, great. If not, that's cool too. One thing I have always known about my work and all of our work is that the right people will be attracted to the right people, right? So that's how it goes. No worries for me either way. But you can learn more about me at katie-weaver.com. So head over there. See if there's anything I can do to help you out. You guys have a great Sunday. Thank you all so much for joining me. You have been listening to Unchurch with Katie Weaver. Take care.